Mary Kay asked what everyone else was thinking. Why is Dillon Gabriel still starting? Her follow-up, a direct call for Shedeur Sanders to take over, was bold, but it wasn't baseless. And Kevin Stefanski's furious reaction didn't answer the question. It dodged it. What followed was a tense, defensive exchange that only underscored the stakes. The Browns aren't just losing games, they're losing patience. And Stefanski's unwillingness to address the most obvious personnel issue has now become the story. Mary Kay's critique was harsh but fair. Gabriel can't finish the job. Instead of refuting it with results, Stefanski responded with emotion, and that may have revealed more than he intended. What's clear now is that this quarterback controversy is no longer behind closed doors. Stefanski's public anger was more than frustration. It was a crack in the dam. With Gabriel struggling to move the chains and fans openly demanding change, Mary Kay's comments served as the tipping point. The team's performance can't mask the problem any longer. Gabriel's flaws are magnified in critical moments, while Sanders remains benched despite being touted as the future. Stefanski's job security, once a background concern, is now squarely in the spotlight. His reaction didn't just fan the flames, it confirmed the fire. Kevin Stefanski blew up on live TV. Not over a bad call. Not over a missed field goal. No, this meltdown was triggered by Mary Kay Cabot daring to say what fans, insiders, and even parts of the locker room have been whispering for weeks. Start Shedeur Sanders.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
That was it. And Stefanski, the usually reserved Browns head coach, completely unraveled in real time. The breaking point came right after another brutal loss. Another game where Dillon Gabriel looked completely overwhelmed. The Browns couldn't convert a third down if their lives depended on it. And Gabriel's check-down-heavy play style was the anchor dragging the offense underwater. Mary Kay didn't sugarcoat it. She called out the obvious. Gabriel wasn't getting the job done. And suddenly, Stefanski had a full-blown media firestorm on his hands. This wasn't just about a single quote. It was about weeks of mounting tension. The Browns' offense has looked flat, risk-averse, and painfully predictable. Gabriel's refusal or inability to push the ball downfield has made defenses bold and fans furious. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders, armed with better vision, stronger mechanics, and way more upside, is warming the bench while the franchise drifts sideways. But instead of leaning into the pressure and considering a change, Stefanski lost control. His public outburst didn't just signal frustration. It exposed a deeper problem. He's coaching scared. His decision to stick with Gabriel reeks of self-preservation over team development. If Gabriel flames out, Stefanski can claim continuity and stability. But if he benches him for Sanders and the rookie struggles, that's a gamble with real job consequences. Mary Kay's criticism cracked something open. It wasn't just media attention. It was the first public sign that the honeymoon is over. Stefanski's leash is getting shorter, and his refusal to adapt is pushing him closer to the edge. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is waiting, ready, capable, and arguably more prepared for this moment than Gabriel's ever been. The fan base is over it. The locker room feels the shift coming. The front office hears the chatter. And now, with Mary Kay putting the pressure on air, the question isn't if Stefanski will start Sanders. It's how much damage will be done by the time he finally does. Kevin Stefanski looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. One question flipped the entire room. One sentence cut through the scripted coach speak and threw gas on a fire the Browns have been trying to pretend isn't burning. Mary Kay Cabot didn't ask anything outrageous. She just said what everyone watching already knew. Dillon Gabriel couldn't finish the job. The Browns' offense was flatlining. Again. And at this point, the only thing more baffling than Gabriel still starting was the coaching staff pretending it was going just fine. Stefanski didn't appreciate the bluntness. His face tightened. His answers got short. Then the tone changed. Defensive. Irritated. Visibly frustrated. He snapped on live broadcast. And just like that, the Browns' quarterback controversy wasn't just a debate among fans anymore. It was now a full-blown organizational flashpoint, playing out in real time, under the brightest lights, with the head coach visibly cracking under the pressure. Because this isn't just about Gabriel struggling. It's about everyone seeing it, and the staff still refusing to make the move. The Browns had a winnable game against Minnesota. A defense that dared them to beat them vertically. A game plan screaming for aggression. Instead, they got conservative checkdowns, missed reads, and another 3-and-out at the exact moment they needed a spark. Gabriel's limitations weren't new, but they were glaring. Again, he couldn't extend plays. He couldn't challenge the secondary. He couldn't move the chains on third down. And now, week after week, the numbers and the tape are telling the same story. This offense isn't just underperforming, it's being held hostage by a quarterback who's not ready for this stage. Dillon Gabriel is clearly overmatched at the NFL level right now. He struggles under pressure. He doesn't see the field. He won't take risks, even when the situation demands it. And when the Browns needed him to push the ball, to lead a comeback, to make a throw that matters, he disappeared. The problem isn't just the mistakes. It's the absence of anything meaningful. And here's where it gets worse. While the offense stumbles over itself trying to protect Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders stands on the sideline, waiting, watching, ready. This isn't some raw third stringer. This is a quarterback who has every tool this offense is missing. He's bigger. He's got the arm. He's calm in chaos. He's operated under pressure, been in the spotlight, and delivered in far more intense environments than this. And yet, he's being ignored. The fan base sees it. Analysts see it. And now, with Mary Kay's blunt post-game statement, the media is done dancing around it. The call for Sanders isn't a hot take anymore. It's the obvious move. But for Stefanski, it's become a line in the sand. He's now defending Gabriel not because of performance, but because of pride. Because benching him means admitting that sticking with him was a mistake. And right now, it feels like Stefanski would rather go down with the ship than change course. That's not coaching. That's denial. And the damage isn't just in the win-loss column. It's in the locker room. You can feel the disconnect growing. The defense is playing their hearts out, only to watch the offense stumble through another forgettable possession. Receivers are visibly frustrated. The offensive line looks drained. No one is rallying behind Gabriel. They've seen the same plays, the same panic throws, the same missed windows. And worse, they've seen the coaching staff ignore it. This isn't about one bad game. This is a pattern, a system that's breaking down under the weight of bad decisions. And every week Sanders sits, it gets harder to justify. Because Sanders isn't just a future option. He's a better option. He throws with anticipation. He isn't afraid to take shots. He reads coverages better. He brings presence and urgency to an offense that's been sleepwalking. And most importantly, he gives the Browns hope. With Gabriel, you're stuck playing not to lose. With Sanders, you're playing to win. That shift matters. But Stefanski won't make it. Or won't yet. He's feeling the pressure. That press conference proved it. You don't react like that unless you're under fire. The media isn't asking speculative questions anymore. They're asking the questions the fans are screaming. Why is Gabriel still starting? Why isn't Sanders getting a chance? And what exactly is the plan? Because right now it looks like the plan is hope Gabriel figures it out before the season slips away. That's not strategy. That's wishful thinking. And it's already costing them. They're dropping games they could be winning. The offense is predictable. The locker room morale is dipping. The defense is gassed. And the fan base? Completely fed up. The longer this goes on, the more Stefanski's job becomes part of the conversation. You can't keep preaching development while stalling your most promising quarterback. You can't talk about culture while rewarding mediocrity. And you definitely can't pretend things are fine when your post-game pressers are turning into meltdowns. Every coach has a moment where he has to make the call. The one that either saves the season or defines its collapse. This is that moment for Stefanski. Start Shedeur Sanders, and you're making a statement. That the team comes before your pride. That performance matters. That you're willing to adapt. Stick with Gabriel, And you're telling everyone, players, fans, media, ownership, that you care more about defending a past mistake than building a future. That's the fork in the road. And right now, Stefanski is leaning into the wrong direction, with the whole franchise watching. There's still time to fix this. But not much. The season doesn't slow down for indecision. The longer Sanders sits, the more momentum you lose. The more trust erodes. The more fractured the team becomes. It's not just a quarterback controversy anymore. It's a leadership problem. And unless something changes fast, Stefanski won't just lose the locker room. He'll lose his job. So what happens now? That depends on whether the Browns are ready to stop pretending everything's fine and start building something real. Something that isn't afraid to make a bold decision. Start Sanders. Let the offense breathe again. Let the team believe again. Because this charade has gone on long enough. Let us know what you think in the comments. Should Stefanski finally make the switch? Is Sanders the answer Cleveland's been waiting for? Or are the Browns going to ride this out until there's nothing left to salvage? Drop your take below. And don't forget to subscribe. Because if you thought the story was wild already, it's nowhere near finished. At this point, even the most loyal Browns fans are starting to feel like they're being gaslit. Week after week, they're watching the same tired performance, the same conservative play calling, the same check-down heavy drives that go nowhere. And every time, Kevin Stefanski steps up to the podium and talks about progress. What progress? The offense is dead on arrival. The quarterback can't handle pressure. The team is underperforming. And the only thing changing is the temperature on Stefanski's seat. And yet, somehow, Dillon Gabriel is still under center. Let's not rewrite history. Gabriel had promise. He earned a look. But what was once a developmental gamble is now a glaring liability. Every meaningful offensive drive feels like a coin flip. And even the coin looks like it's trying to land on its edge just to escape responsibility. There's no explosiveness. No rhythm. No leadership. The Browns aren't just losing winnable games. They're doing it with an offense that plays like it's stuck in quicksand. Every play call feels like it's designed to avoid failure instead of chase success. And you know what that tells the locker room? It tells them their coach doesn't believe in the quarterback either, but he's too scared to admit it. That's the unspoken truth here. Stefanski's refusal to pivot isn't about what he sees on the practice field. It's about what it looks like if he benches the guy he's backed since training camp. If he hands the keys to Shedeur Sanders, he has to answer for why he didn't do it sooner. Why he stuck with Gabriel through all the red flags. Why he didn't listen when the entire stadium was chanting for change. But not making the switch now? That's even louder. It says, I'm not changing until someone forces me to. And that's when coaching stops being leadership and starts being damage control. Because the Gabriel experiment hasn't just failed. It's starting to rot the rest of the team from the inside. Receivers are visibly frustrated. Not just at the lack of targets, but at the fact that even when they are open, the ball's either late, low, or nowhere near where it should be. You've got tight ends being used like glorified safety valves. Running backs running into stacked boxes because defenses know Gabriel won't stretch the field. And the defense? They're exhausted. They're making stops. They're keeping the team alive. But how many times can you get a third down stop, jog off the field, and watch your quarterback go 3 and out before the frustration boils over? This is how locker rooms fracture. Not from losing, but from knowing that winnable games are being handed away by coaching hesitation. Shedeur Sanders might not be perfect. No rookie is. But at least he gives you a chance to play a different kind of football. A vertical offense. A more balanced attack. A quarterback who can make defenses uncomfortable instead of giving them a break. Because right now, opposing coordinators aren't even sweating. They know the Browns aren't going to beat them downfield. They know Gabriel's going to check it down on 3rd and long. They're stacking the line, jumping routes, and forcing Gabriel to beat them with throws he doesn't have. It's not even a complex game plan anymore. Just wait. He'll panic. And here's the thing. The longer Stefanski ignores it, the more transparent his fear becomes. He's not coaching to win. He's coaching to survive. Survive the media. survive the pressers, survive the noise. But this job isn't about survival. It's about being bold when the moment demands it. And if this isn't the moment, then what is? The team is at a breaking point. The media is circling. The fans are furious. The offense is broken. The defense is holding on by a thread. The locker room is losing trust. The energy is gone. And Shedeur Sanders is right there. The question isn't whether he's ready. It's whether the organization is ready to admit what everyone else already knows. This version of the Browns doesn't work. Not with Gabriel. Not with this game plan. Not with this refusal to change. Shedeur Sanders has already proven he can handle pressure. He's shown command. He's played against elite competition. He's studied under the spotlight, built for a stage like this. And right now, he's being wasted. His development is being stalled so the coaching staff can save face. That's not team building. That's political maneuvering. You're telling fans you care about the future, while sitting the player most capable of being that future. And here's where it gets truly wild. Stefanski's job security hinges on a quarterback he doesn't fully trust. That's what makes this so surreal. He's putting all his chips on a player who hasn't once shown the ability to take over a game. Not in preseason. Not in the regular season. Not in crunch time. Meanwhile, he's got a quarterback with better size, a better arm, more poise, more leadership presence. And he's sidelined him in favor of stability. There's nothing stable about what's happening. This is a franchise on the verge of wasting an entire season trying to protect a flawed decision. And the fans? They're watching it happen in real time. Social media is a war zone. Every Browns highlight reel is just 3 minutes of stalled drives and sarcastic captions. Every post-game show is a countdown to when Stefanski finally pulls the trigger, not if. And the longer it takes, the more damage is done. You want to develop young talent? Start Sanders. You want to re-energize the locker room? Start Sanders. You want to prove that performance matters more than politics? Start Sanders. But if you want to keep losing games while giving the same post-game speech about execution and learning moments, then by all means, stick with Gabriel. Stick with the quarterback who can't finish drives. Stick with the safe plays and conservative calls. Watch another season slip through your fingers while a future franchise quarterback watches from the sideline. There's no more mystery here. The issue isn't hidden. The choice isn't complicated. It's right there. Kevin Stefanski just has to make it. And if he doesn't, the Browns are going to make it for him. Because the NFL doesn't wait for coaches to figure it out. It moves fast. And right now, this team is stuck in neutral, while everyone else is speeding past them. Shedeur Sanders could change that. All it takes is one decision. But will Stefanski make it? There's a difference between loyalty and stubbornness. And right now, Kevin Stefanski isn't just towing that line. He's stomping on it. It's not about the effort. It's not about the preparation. It's about the results. And the results? They're bad. The offense isn't functioning. The quarterback isn't improving. The team isn't moving forward. And somehow, despite everything, the mounting losses, the visible frustration, the loud and very public media pressure, Stefanski is still clinging to the same sinking ship. Dillon Gabriel isn't the answer. Not short-term. Not long-term. And the longer this drags on, the more people are starting to wonder whether Stefanski even realizes the damage being done in real time. Because this isn't just costing games anymore, it's costing trust. Trust from the players. Trust from the fan base. And now, more and more, trust from the people inside the building. The coaching staff is under fire. The front office is feeling the heat. The press is circling like sharks. And still, the most obvious move is being ignored. The move that gives the team life. The move that gives the offense hope. The move that tells everyone watching, yes, we see the problem, and we're going to fix it. Start Shedeur Sanders. Not because he's a savior. Not because he'll be perfect. But because at least he gives you a fighting chance. A real option. A quarterback with the physical tools, the mental toughness, and the composure to actually compete. Not manage. Compete. It's not about giving up on Gabriel as a human being. It's about acknowledging what's happening on the field. Gabriel isn't developing, he's spiraling. The game is too fast. The reads are too slow. And when the pocket collapses, the decisions get even worse. It's the same script every week. Missed third downs, missed throws, missed opportunities. And no matter how much Stefanski tries to dress it up, everyone sees it. This isn't nuance. This is basic quarterback play. And Gabriel isn't delivering. Meanwhile, Sanders is stuck watching the offense sputter, knowing he could do more. Knowing that even if he's not fully polished, he brings something this team doesn't have right now. The ability to threaten defenses. Defenses aren't scared of Gabriel. That's not an opinion. It's just how they're playing him. Stack the box, close the middle, dare him to beat you over the top. He won't. He hasn't. And Stefanski's game plan reflects it. Ultra-conservative, afraid to take risks, built around keeping the ball out of danger rather than putting it in the hands of playmakers. That's what this really comes down to, fear. Stefanski is coaching scared. He's afraid of turnovers, afraid of blowback, afraid of putting a rookie in the fire and watching it all fall apart. But guess what? It's already falling apart. And it's not because the Browns are taking risks. It's because they aren't. Gabriel isn't pushing the ball. He isn't stretching the defense. He's checking down when he needs to take over. He's surviving, not leading. And you can see it in the team's body language. You can feel it in the stadium. You can hear it in the silence after another third down incompletion to a tight end standing 4 yards short of the sticks. This isn't about mistakes. It's about mindset. And right now, this team is playing like it knows it has no margin for error, because it doesn't trust its quarterback to get it back. That's where Shedeur Sanders changes things. Say what you want about his experience level, but one thing he doesn't lack is confidence. That's not cockiness, it's command. And this offense needs a quarterback who wants the moment, not one who shies away from it. Sanders has been under the spotlight longer than most rookies. He's had cameras in his face, critics on his back, and pressure on his shoulders for years. And through it all, he's risen to the challenge. He's shown poise. He's delivered. That's not hype, it's history. And that's why people are begging for the change. Not out of desperation, out of clarity. They've seen enough to know what Gabriel is. And they're tired of pretending that giving him time is doing anything but delaying the inevitable. Because the inevitable is coming. And it's not just another loss. It's a complete unraveling. At this rate, Stefanski's refusal to act is going to bury this season. The locker room is starting to lose patience. The offense is tuning out. The fans are booing. The media is pressing. And the team, this team that actually has pieces, actually has potential, is wasting it week after week with a quarterback who can't finish drives. All the while, the quarterback of the future is holding a clipboard. It's no longer a matter of should they switch. It's how many more losses can they afford before they have to? The answer? Not many. The schedule doesn't care about development. The rest of the league isn't going to slow down so Gabriel can figure out how to handle pressure. Every game he starts is another opportunity lost. Another game plan handcuffed. Another chance for Sanders to grow on the bench instead of on the field. And for what? So the head coach doesn't have to admit he backed the wrong guy? That's the real story here. The quarterback controversy is just a symptom. The root problem is the refusal to adapt. The refusal to make a hard call. The refusal to do what's best for the team instead of what's safest for the coach. If this continues, Stefanski won't just lose games. He'll lose the locker room. He'll lose the fan base. And eventually, he'll lose his job. And it won't be because of Shedeur Sanders. It'll be because of the decision to keep him on the bench when the team needed him the most. The Browns have a chance to reset. Not next year. Not in the offseason. Now. They have a defense that can keep them in games. They have skilled players waiting for a quarterback who can find them downfield. They have a fan base starving for hope. And they have a rookie who can give them all of that. But it only happens if Stefanski stops protecting a failed plan and starts building a new one. This isn't complicated. The Browns need a spark. They need leadership. They need accountability. They need Shedeur Sanders. And they need him now. So what do you think? Has Stefanski waited too long to make the switch? Is Sanders the right move, or is there still a case to be made for sticking with Gabriel? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more breakdowns of the league's biggest controversies. Because if this QB drama doesn't erupt soon, it's only because the Browns still haven't listened.